man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah, blessing the reaper with course.
Y'all, it's your girl Shay Renee, and I am back to talk about some more love and marriage Huntsville tea. So today I want to talk to y'all about Melody and her friendships, okay? People seem to have so many opinions about Mel, how she's a friend, who she giving her phone number to, who she not giving her phone number to, the trap phone that she has, all of these things. So the Ooh Ladies First panel did an interview with Mel tonight, okay? And I actually went on and listened to the interview. Now, everybody that's not a member of Bondi's channel will actually get to see said interview, I believe, tomorrow or whenever she's going to schedule to let everybody else see it. But I got to see it tonight. And there were some things that I wanted to address. So I'm going to play this clip that was recently put onto the OWN YouTube channel, right? And it's Mel having a conversation with Kimmy about just her feelings about all of this, who gets my phone number, who don't get my phone number stuff. And then we're going to go into some of the things that Mel actually addressed in the actual interview. Let's watch this clip real quick.
The other day, and I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, there we go. Because I called you for your birthday. Ho.
Oh. You was called the thank
Correct.
you. Thank you.
Miss change your number
Thank
every
you for
10
the
minutes.
birthday love.
I'm like, okay, sister can't even say happy birthday. Right. So I waited out. I said, I'll wait it out. I'll wait my turn. I know after we leave LA, you be taking your minutes.
You know it.
I said, so I'll just wait my turn. It'll come around. I did. I said, I'll wait my turn.
But I appreciate you for that. No, for real, I appreciate you for that because everybody don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And as you learn people and dealing with people, you kind of know how they operate. That's one thing we always said about us. For us, if we disagree or not, we know we're direct. We know we're going to be honest, and we say what we say, and we keep it moving, right? We know that about each other.
Right.
So I appreciate that you know, okay, Mel, this is what she do. She going to be over here quiet for a little bit, live with her space. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank you.
I was like, okay.
All right, y'all. So in that clip, you saw Kimmy having a conversation with Mel, where Kimmy pretty much doesn't have an issue with Mel and her disappearing acts, if you will. So I guess it's just one of those things of, hey, I know who you are. It's about knowing who you're dealing with, right? If this is something that you know that this woman does consistently, where she's going to disappear after filming. Mel has said it over and over again that after filming, it is very draining, and she don't want to see none of you hoes after this is over, pretty much, okay? And here's another thing that really gets me with this whole, let me say this. I love Mel just as much as everybody else and not just because, you know, everybody else does or she's just this popular thing. I love her business acumen. I just like overall who she is. Now, I was one of those people with this whole phone number situation. I was like, it's a little tacky, you know. I thought it was tacky initially because I'm like, for you to tell somebody to DM you, nah, I'm not doing that. And for me, if somebody that I felt was my friend, right, changes their phone number, and after 4 months, I don't have your phone number because in 4 months, either you nor I thought to reach out to you. Now, if it's somebody that I considered a friend and I've, you know, let me preface this by saying this. I don't talk to my friends every day because sister girl got things to do. Hell, I'm recording this video at 10:58, 11 o'clock, trying to get my son in the bed, okay? So my friends know I'm either teaching a class, I'm making products for people, I'm working my 9 to 5, I'm momming, I'm wifing, I'm doing all these things, right? So I don't have time to be kicking the bobo and schlepping on the phone with you. I really just don't. So now, are there times that we do have phone conversations where we he and hawing? Yeah. But they know that at a certain point in time, I'm gonna be like, all right now. Okay. That's enough. Okay. I am more of an in-person. Let's put something on the calendar and hang out. Because kicking it on the phone ain't what I do. Really. Okay. So moving on from that. Kimmy understands that, but it seems like Stormy does not. And I'm going to go into some of the Ooh Ladies First panel questions. Now, I'm not going to go over every single thing that they talked about because I do want y'all to actually watch the interview. It was a very good interview, by the way. I think they asked all the questions that we really want to know. So I'm not even going to tell y'all everything that they talked about because I want to encourage people to go and actually watch the interview because, like I said, it was absolutely amazing. Those ladies, Bondi, Jamie, and Niecy, they did a very good job at that interview. Kudos to the Ooh Ladies First panel. But getting back to Stormy, initially I said, okay, anybody that tells me, well, girl, you could have just DM'd me or whatever, depending on our relationship and where I felt we were in the relationship, I'm not even going to be asking you why I didn't get your phone number. The minute that if we're not like tough, tight, and close like that, once I call you and I get the that somebody changed their number, or I'm texting you and I notice that you're not responding, I'm just going to be like, deuces, I'm chopping it up. We're clearly not friends like I thought we were. And I'm just going to take my bitters and go. That's just me. I'm not confronting you, or the next time I see you, if you say, oh, girl, I ain't talked to you in a while or whatever, I may bring it up. Oh, yeah, I texted you way back when, but you ain't never responded. So I was just like, oh, okay, maybe you busy or whatever. And if you reveal, depending on what your response is, I may resume communication with you. And more than likely, I probably am not. Okay, because I'm a petty Cancer. I'm just like that. So if you didn't think of me like that before, or you didn't think enough of me to give me your phone number, then I'm good on you. You know what I'm saying? And clearly, she's not thinking enough of these people to give them her phone number when she first initially changed her phone number, okay? So let's get into some of these questions, okay? So they asked about the drama backstage at the reunion, and Mel's response was, that actually didn't have, what she will say is, the drama that ensued, it didn't have anything to do with her. So they assumed that, oh, okay, so it had to do with production. The drama backstage, where there are some rumors all over YouTube and the internets, where Martell apparently had some type of meltdown at the reunion, and they didn't decide to play it at the reunion. They left that part out, and so they were asking her about it to see if she had anything to do with it or knew what basically happened. And she said, I didn't say it happened with production, and what I'm telling you is it didn't have anything to do with me. So she was kind of a little vague with that, rightfully so, because OWN may want to come out with it at some point. Who knows? Then they asked about the phone being hacked. And, she talked about phone numbers that were calling her that she didn't know, and how people that she hadn't talked to in quite some time were now calling her phone. Like they were mutual friends of her and Martell. And then she finally, one of the phone numbers, she ended up calling it back. And it was one of their mutual friends. And she was like, well, who were you trying to call, or whatever the case may be? And they revealed that they were actually trying to call Martell. So she immediately got scared. Like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening? And she said it actually made her get emotional because she thinks about how she gave some examples of how people, how you in the bathroom and people put your phone number on the bathroom stall, or, how you think somebody is one way, but then there's some other way, and people are just behind the scenes. You look at them as a stand-up person. They have a 9-to-5 job. They doing all these great things, but then behind the scenes, they doing all this crazy stuff. And she said it broke her down, because it's like, wow, somebody is really like invading my privacy type of stuff. And I just think that is very, very crazy. And so she said, with all of that being said, it was so weird to her, and the situation just made her want to fall back from anybody that was a mutual friend or whatever, with Martell, until she really figured out exactly what was going on. Because at this point, these aren't her words, but in my thought process, everybody's a culprit at this point, because I don't know what's going on, but she feels like it was him that was doing it. He orchestrated all of that. So then they asked if the reason she didn't, if this whole hacking situation was the reason why she didn't want anyone on the cast or anybody to have her phone number, and called them on her track phone. And she said her privacy was invaded, so she had to be very cautious of who had access to her. And so she went into protective mode. So anyone affiliated with the show, like I said, or anyone that communicates with him, and she really didn't want to give out her phone number to everybody, because she goes into talking about how Martell can be very manipulative. Like, it could be oh man, I broke my phone. Like, I don't have Mel's number. I got to talk to her about the kids. Can I get her phone number from you? Something as simple as that could really, in actuality, you may be thinking, if you're an innocent bystander friend, right? You like, oh yeah, here, give her, here's the number. I'm sure, you would have gotten it by now, but let me go ahead and give you her number, or whatever the case may be, so you can call her. So it's just like, for him to be doing something like that, her feeling like her privacy was invaded, phone number is a no-haps. I just feel like, why is this man doing all of this stuff? It's very, very crazy. Like, these people have been divorced for 2 years now, going on 3. It's time to move on. It really is. It's not going to happen for y'all. You have got to let it go. Let it burn like Usher. It's crazy. And just, y'all, the rest of the stuff that she revealed in this interview is just so crazy. So the next question they asked was, what happened with Carlos and Angela? Angela is Carlos King's, I think, executive producer or something like that. And Carlos talks about on his YouTube channel how that he had to fly in the Huntsville, child, because he had to put the peoples and get them together. He had to get them together, okay? So apparently he must have met with Mel upon his trip. And Angela was one of the people that was in that meeting. And the Ooh Ladies First panel posed the question as if this was something to help Mel and Tisha to kind of mend their bridges. But she said Tisha wasn't actually at that meeting. And the meeting was basically just composed around trying to get the show back on track. Like, bring back some positivity to the show, because it just seems like it wasn't entertaining anymore. It was just too much turmoil going on. So they really just had a discussion to try to have a come to Jesus moment to get the show back on track. So then they talked about the dark soul comments, and how, what does she think about that with Tisha? And she was like, I don't think about it. Like, she said Tisha is only saying this stuff because she's hearing she heard Martell say it, and now everybody gonna repeat it, and just because, not in her words, but basically, you don't like me, okay, cool, so now y'all want to see me doing bad so bad, like, but you don't know me like that. You don't know me to say that I have a dark soul. And I get that. It's like, girl, why are you on me? Why are you even thinking about me? Like, where did you even come up with this? Because we don't even talk enough for you to, or you don't even know what's going on in my life for you to be saying I have a damn dark soul. And for Tisha, I feel like this. You don't want to be Mel's friend? Cool. Are you just mad because she don't want to be your friend? Like, what are you really mad about? I don't even understand what Tisha really is mad about. I think that she's mad, in my opinion, because so Mel got cheated on. We all know that. They're now divorced. It's over. Okay? Tisha is mad because you're involved. And we know. You and your husband were involved, ma'am. So instead of you falling on your sword and saying, you know what? That was the wrong road in my Portia voice for us to be involved in something like that. Instead, they take the route of pouncing on Mel like, girl, why you say something? Who do you really think that you are to be telling the truth on us? Like, girl, just get cheated on and keep it pushing like everybody else. Like, what? I just felt like it was too much. It was too accusatory versus nurturing, which is supposed to be what you do when you essentially call somebody a friend. If Mel was your friend, you would have, try to console sis or something. Like, I feel like Tisha was like, oh no, I don't like the fact that Mel is bringing this up because now people are going to be questioning me and Marceau. It was more of a girl, keep quiet because I want to stay silent. Or, Mel was basically trying to bring it to her attention that, listen, he wasn't doing this alone, girl. Okay, he had some friends, some partners in the crime, all right? And you might want to take your tail on down to the bar just to kind of see what's a-goings on while you over here talking, okay? So, I feel like at that point where Tisha decided that she wanted to keep whatever Marceau was doing under wraps or continue to be delusional and in denial, that shouldn't be. I don't understand how that created tension between the two of them because I feel like Tisha utilized that moment to be defensive instead of being supportive to her friend. So, y'all, I don't even know how we got on the hell on damn Tisha. I guess because they said that they thought the conversation was with Tisha. So, moving on. That's my 2 cents on that. So, then they asked about how her and Stormy met, okay? So, Mel talks about her Stormy's team from Canvas Beauty reaching out to her so that she could be an ambassador for the Canvas Beauty brand. And I think that, in my opinion, I feel like all of that was very strategic. We heard Carlos King talk about how she wanted to be on Belle Collective. She was trying to get on that show first. But they were unaware that she didn't live in Jackson, which is where Jacksonville or Jackson, wherever they film in Mississippi for the Belle Collective show. So when they found out she didn't live in the vicinity of where they actually film, they were like, nah, we would love her, but she's not going to be a good fit. So then, now all of a sudden, her and Mel link up, hence this, oh, let's reach out to her. She's on Huntsville. I live in Huntsville. Let's get her to be a Canvas Beauty girl or whatever. So I'm thinking Mel is oblivious to all of this. So Stormy is reaching out, trying to get her to collaborate and do her business or whatever. Mel does, I guess she does do something with her. They work together in some capacity. And Mel was like, you know what, I really like this girl. Like, I think she would be great for the show. Because during her interview with Carlos, they talked about how Mel, they collaborate on who comes on the show. She may recommend somebody, but ultimately Carlos and Angela, which is his executive producer, makes the final decision, okay? So that's how they initially met. Mel brought her up because she thought she would be a good fit. She has the lifestyle, she's a businesswoman. Mel liked that about her. And that's what it is. She said she DM'd her, okay? And she goes into talking about actually how even when they had each other's phone numbers, they would DM each other often on Instagram because they watch each other's stories or whatever. Like, she was like, even around the time during that time period when she was saying that Mel wasn't reaching out to her or whatever, she said she noticed that Stormy was looking at her stories. So if you looking at my stories, why you ain't just DM me or whatever? And it's not like that's not something that they would do often. Like they would DM each other. Like, again, they had each other's phone numbers, but they will often DM each other talking on Instagram. So, and Mel said, I look at the DMs kind of like somebody texting. That nowadays people look at that as texting or whatever the case may be. So for me, with the whole DM situation in the beginning, I felt like if Stormy was somebody that was close enough to you, she should have made that list of who got your cell phone number when you changed it. However, you're just not that into her. And I think it's okay to just say that. You know, and I think Mel alluded to basically saying that in the next episode. She was like, she don't know if they're going to play it or not, but she is going to have the conversation with her about DMing and how they always DM'd each other. And in this regard, if y'all already had that relationship of y'all DMing each other, then in that aspect, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, girl, if you notice that you don't have her number, you on the show, you obviously watching Mel's stories, because Mel gives us all tidbits in her stories, then you know what's going on with Martell, the phone situation, somebody hacking her phone and all that. Any person with common sense could put two and two together, and even Kimmy put two and two together in the clip that I showed at the beginning of the video. So I just don't understand why this is being made a thing. Accept your position and move on. Assume the position, okay? And my thing is, I'm never going to be that enchanted by anybody that I'm going to be jumping through hoops and doing all of this to communicate with you if there's no reciprocity, right? And reciprocity would be, you sent me your phone number, period. And Mel even said, one of the ladies asked the question of, okay, so if Stormy had a DM'd you, would you have given her your phone number? And Mel was like, you know what? This is, you know, now knowing what she knows about all the stuff that was going on with her mother, with Betty, Stormy's mother. And because at the time when they talked on the show, she was oblivious. She was like, production actually had asked her before she walked into the event, into Kimmy's event, did she know about what was going on Twitter with Betty and all the stuff with the Facebook groups and all this stuff? And Mel was like, no, actually, I don't know what you're talking about or whatever. So she went into the scene talking to Stormy, and she's like, me and Stormy, even to this day, I don't have a problem with her. Like, everybody wants to try to create something with us, but I don't have an issue with her. Now, am I checking for somebody that, you know, she was like, I've already been there, done that with the whole mamas and, you know, mama's not liking me and you know, talking greasy behind my back type of stuff or whatever. She was like, I'm not trying to go through that again. And, you know, I'm good on that. Like, she's like, you know what? I'm protecting my peace. I really don't have any interest in being friends or around somebody that their mother doesn't like me, obviously. And, you know, she also talked about in the interview about people that hang out with Martell. She's like, you know, I just can't get with, you know, people that are like, you hanging out with him and doing all of this and you know, just really diving in, knowing all the stuff that he's doing to me. And she brought up Stormy's husband actually going and having a conversation with Martell. Like, they had a one-on-one conversation. And Stormy said Mel said Stormy came back to her and was like, yeah, you know, Courtney had a conversation with Martell, and, you know, girl, it's crazy. He be talking about how many he tracking down, how many babysitters you got and stuff like that. So Mel is like, knowing all these things, why are you hanging out with this man? Like, you at the parties and whatnot. Like, clearly she knows about him going over to Stormy going over to Sheree's house for the Christmas party or the New Year's Eve party, whatever she had going on. So, I guess at that point, she's like, oh, okay, so you have drank the Kool-Aid. So, I'm going to go ahead and head on out. We not about to be, like, super close like that. Thank you. I got you on the show. Clearly, that's what you want, and there's that on that. Now, Mel didn't say that, but, yeah, it is what it is. She confirmed that she recommended her to Carlos, and in so many words, she's pretty much not fooling with sis, okay? Not where they're going to be close. She said, now, you know, if it's a situation like we in a scene and we talking and chatting it up on the show or whatever, I'm good with that. I can say hi and bye and be cordial or whatever. But she was like, I'm 37 years old. I have friends that I've had for years. And I also love how Bondi brought up, or Jamie, I think she said it, how people must think that this girl's only friends are the people on this damn show. Do you notice she has friends outside of this show? And she says, my friends don't want to be on TV. Like she talked about her best friend Brittany that has been on the show, I think 1 or 2 times or whatever. I guess just made like a cameo. And she was like, she was so nervous. She was like, but my friends, my close friends, they don't want to be on the show. Like even to this day, if it's something where we're filming and I'm having an event, they won't show up because they don't want to be filmed. And I get that. You got to respect people's privacy as their friend, okay? So just a couple other things, and like I said, y'all, I'm not going over everything they talked about because I do want y'all to watch the actual interview. I'm just going over some of the things that I found interesting to coincide with this whole Mel don't got no friends and she ain't giving nobody her phone number bullshiggity, okay? So, again, they asked if the friendship between her and Stormy was actually fostered just to get Stormy on the show, if Stormy just reached out to her for that. And Mel said, honestly, I don't know. She was like, I can't speak on someone else's intentions, but, you know, I don't know that for sure. So, and I mean, I think that was a good answer. So then they asked about Stormy knowing Arion, and if that's the reason why she fell back on her. So Mel said at the time when she was like, I've heard that she knows her. She was like, no, that's not the reason why I fell back. She said, but now knowing all the things that I know, basically talking about the stuff with her mother, knowing that she is, you know, apparently cool with Ariane or had some form of a relationship with her, she's like, literally, I am not interested in interacting with anybody that hangs around or is in cahoots with somebody that is trying to, you know, hurt me. Like somebody that don't like me, somebody that wants what I have, somebody that is just trying to basically cause me strife. And I wholeheartedly understand that. And most people will turn that into, oh, well, if somebody like Martell or if somebody is friends, you ain't going to be friends with them. That's not the case because she's cool with Kimmy. But that relationship was on set because of when they were married. So how she chooses to move with Kimmy in the future is on her. And maybe Kimmy is not giving her weird vibes like, oh, well, you know, I'm going back and telling Martell this and that and the third or whatever. And maybe Mel knows how to move with Kimmy. I'm not about to tell you none of my business. I'm not about to share too much. We're going to keep it real surface, like what you doing, what you got going on here, this what I got going on. But we're not going to talk about Martell, my kids, nothing. And I get that. If that's her mindset. So, here's the thing in a nutshell. People can hang out with whoever the hell they want to hang out with. And the minute that you realize somebody ain't fooling with you the way you thought you was rocking with them, just move on. Why make a big spectacle of it? Because at the end of the day, when you assume the position, you keep it rocking and rolling and move on with your life. I just feel like we're too old to be pointing out that somebody is not calling you or somebody is not talking to you. You peep game and move accordingly. That's how I feel. And I feel like that's just a lame thing to try to bring to the surface or to the forefront, if you will, on this show. I really do. I think that Stormy could have went so many other ways and in so many other avenues to try to gain popularity, and it just didn't work. One other thing that I thought was really interesting is they talked about the custody battle for a little bit. Now, y'all know Mel has done very many, like a lot of interviews or whatever, and people have asked her about the custody situation with Martell and the kids. And she's always met them with, I can't really talk about that right now because obviously it's still something going on, and it has to do with her children. So I get that. So, but she did say, because Bondi asked a very good question, which I love that she asked this. She said, was the custody stuff going on at the beginning of filming? And Mel said yes. So Bondi said, okay, so is that more of your confusion as to why he was trying to be, all acting like everything is cool, but then, he's doing all this stuff behind the scenes? Like, why is everybody so weird with that? Like, here's the thing. Martell is the real wolf in sheep's clothing, okay? You know that you are taking this woman for full custody of her children, but yet you sit your ass on national TV and ask her to pray for you. And she brought up, Jamie said, she was like, well, why did you even oblige him by saying that you were going to pray for him? One of the viewers wanted to know that. And she said, let me tell y'all what happened. There was a situation where they had went to the kids' Christmas show at the school, right? And she was trying to get in the car, and he outside talking to her for like 40 minutes, wouldn't let her get in the car. And he's just like telling her, going down the line about how they made for each other. He don't want to walk in the park with nobody else but her, and just basically going on and on about how he want to be with her. And I loved how she said, you know what, I hate when people keep on talking about, why do I bring up the fact that he keep on talking about trying to be with me. She was like, it's for context, because he does stuff like that and then will go and present it in a different way. That prayer stuff stemmed from him giving her a rundown of how he want to be with her. I'm like, she the only one you want to be in the park with, but you was just taking pictures with Shay in the park. How dreadful. So she was like, he kept on saying, let's just pray. I want you to pray about our relationship getting better, and about us working on getting back together or whatever. And she was like, sure, I'll pray at 10 o'clock. And she said she didn't really mean that. She was just saying that because it was cold outside. It was in December, and she was ready to get in the car and go home. So he was going to keep on going at it with her and not let her get in the car and leave, because he got to sit up here and recharge his ego with her. So I just think that is so sick and conniving. Like, it's over, bruh. Stop trying to do all of this stuff thinking it's like he do all this crazy stuff and then look at her like, and you don't want to be with me? Are you crazy? You got to be crazy and deranged at this point. It's sick. It's sick. It's a really sick mindset. And then they even talked about Martell's mother, Marlene, how Miss Marlene is always like stroking Martell's ego and, saying that Mel needs to get it together, blah, blah, blah. And Mel was like, they were like, what do you think about that? And she was like, I think of that much like how I think about the Tisha situation. I don't think about it. She was like, let me tell y'all something. I am booked and I am very busy. I have a lot going on. It's not like I'm calling his mama saying, and look what he did, and look what he said, and this is my side of the story. She was like, I don't care to have my side of the story. She was like, I'm over here trying to build legacy for my children. I am very, very, very focused. I'm getting to the money, not to the drama. And I totally respect and understand that. I really, really do. I think that they asked some very pointed questions. There was some other things that were talked about in this interview that I am really excited for you guys to see. Okay, so I encourage y'all, whenever Bondi Blue drops the actual interview with Mel, this is an interview that I think everybody will actually enjoy, because it was a lot of things uncovered, was a lot of information given. It was positivity, and it was a lot of transparency. That's what I really was, I enjoyed seeing, because it's just so many people out here that I think that there are a lot of people, and I'm going to say it, content creators included, that are just hell-bent on disliking this lady. And if you watch the Carlos King interview and watch this interview and still have this I hate Mel mentality, then you just trolling. You really are. And you don't have no common sense. And not saying that you have to like her, but if you don't get it, if you choose to just dislike her, it's because that's just the road that you want to take. That's just what you want to do. And that's just that on that. So y'all, definitely look out for the interview with Bondi Blue and all the ladies of the Ooh Ladies First panel. Very good interview. I just wanted to hop on and give my opinion about this whole phone number situation because I just feel like we've beat it with a dead horse. This lady continues to say season after season that she's taking a break. Allow her to take a damn break. Leave her alone, okay? And if she ain't give you her phone number, she ain't rocking with you. Now, I do want to show y'all this. I did find in a Facebook group, actually her cousin, Jamila, said she didn't even get the phone number. Take a look at this post real quick. So there you have it now. I mean, even her own cousin said that the lady changed the phone number and she wasn't even, they noticed because she wasn't even as active in the family text chat or whatever, if you will, as much as she was before. And they had to, get her phone number, I guess, via DM too. It's not anything out of the ordinary for them. So I just feel like if this is the norm for even her close family members, again, either you choose to fall in line or get ghosted. Deal with it or not. We all are adults. We all have choices, and it is what it is. If anything, it's just clarity and clarification as to where you stand in somebody's life. Pick a side. We can't keep on going with this narrative every season of who not talking to Mel, who talking to Mel, blah blah blah. It's actually very old and very dumb. Why don't, nobody cares about who y'all are talking to or who not talking to somebody. I'm sure Tisha and Kimmy don't talk every single day. I'm sure Destiny not calling all of them every single day. Why is Mel always the target? Because she's the one that has a stigma on, okay, I don't want to be talking to you fools after the taping of the reunion. Take it like it, she's said it. When people show you who they are, people got to start listening. And that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that has an issue with Mel and her phone number too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.